Benga Daniel will give an insight, naval insight to this proposal, and then the Chief Emeritus will round up and get the whole thing over so that I can put the question. I don't know, Senator Adam, you have the floor.
Mr. President, thank you very much. But I'm a bit worried that you can predict me so well. And I don't have a particular habit, but I try to be objective. Bear in mind the fact that it is not most of the time whether some of the problems we seek to cure, whether they exist and whether we need to cure them. The issue for me is how best to get it done. I don't think in this Senate there's any one of us who will object to anything that can be done to protect our maritime industry, blue economy, red economy, whatever. My first point, Mr. President, is that things that have to do with national security, I will be much safer if they were to come by way of executive bills. Why? Because the president is the one who has the opportunity and the responsibility to hear and coordinate the work of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the police, and other security institutions, as well as the Office of the National Security Advisor. I find courage with the very enlightened comments of Senator Yahaya, former leader of this House, who shared with us his own experiences. I think that the issue is not whether we need to protect our coastal waters. And I'm not carried away where we borrow awful out of context what is going on in other countries without tracing the history of what gave birth to those institutions in those countries. Right now, I did have the opportunity to hear what the chairman of the Navy Committee will say. I believe the Nigerian Navy can do with enhanced capacity.
Excellency, my former chairman, you have 1 minute remaining.
Yes, sir, but the Navy spoke for 5 minutes. I think you have obligation to be fair to all senators on this occasion, regardless of ranking. Abi, you can't have 5 minutes, you announce it, so at least give me 4.5 minutes. Because my own argument is to the contrary. So I understand the general trend, but I want to be on record that I do not think at this point, in this manner, I emphasize in this manner because I believe if this need really exists, it should benefit from the intelligence information that the executive may have. On the basis of those informations, they will decide whether there is a gap that can be filled by a coastal guide. As it is today, if we are not careful, we are going to have a lot of competition instead of institutions complementing each other. That has been the problem that gave rise to, for example, sir, just 2 minutes, I will round up. This is how we created the National Road Safety Commission, with a huge overhead. When I was growing up, that job was being done by the traffic division of the Nigeria Police, and they were more efficient than it is today. Those of us who travel on the road, I don't know if you have found the Road Safety Commission be helpful. They were created. That is how we created the Nigerian Civil Defense, to protect pipelines, government properties. And I don't know now whether the government properties are safer or not. And each time we think that if we have a problem, we have to create an institution on our own. As Parliament,
I'm constrained. I have to draw your attention to Order 52A.
Yes, sir.
Senator must confine his observations to the subject under discussion and may not introduce matter irrelevant thereto. We're talking about Coast Guard. So the issue of rail safety, the issue of this shouldn't come up. I'm constrained. I have to rule out of that on that. Continue, Mr. My former chairman.
Well, thank you. You have the so monopoly to interpret the rules. But I will say that in making a debate of creating institutions, it is not out of the subject matter to make reference to similar institutions that have been created, which in the end added no value. That is why I laid that foundation.
Thank you.
Let me round up by saying that I plead with my colleague that issues like this should be referred to the National Security Advisor. It should be referred to the executive. They alone can tell us whether or not additional institution is required. For now, I believe our mandate should be to try to strengthen the Navy, get them to properly refocus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So that they can do their job more efficiently, rather than creating a coastal guide that will just be another institution leading to endless competition and all of the things that arise from duplication.
Thank you. I will use the floor.